6:30, 6:25 in the evening. I'll get it straight. City Hall, City Council Chamber, 790 Homestead Boulevard. Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Board Member Burgess.
Here.
Board Member Lobos. Board Member Maldonado.
Here.
Board Member Shelley.
Here.
Board Member Williams.
Here.
Vice Chairwoman Warman.
Here.
Chairman Bateman.
Here. Deletions and/or deferrals. Do we have any? None? Okay, moving on. New business. Support of the Cinco de Mayo Festival. Motion to move. Oh, we're moving on now.
Motion.
Okay, second?
Second.
Okay, staff report.
Mr. Chairman, members of the Board of Directors, good evening. This item, the staff recommends that the CRA Board approve expenses for the Cinco de Mayo Festival for an amount not to exceed $15,000 for the festivities to be held on May 7th, 2011. The Mexican-American Council will be celebrating the Cinco de Mayo Festival in Homestead. These dollars will be used for sworn police officers for pretty much security and safety purposes, also for the quote-unquote crowd pleasers like the portalet toilets, and also after cleanup services for the event.
Okay, questions from council?
I did have a
Please.
question.
Burgess, you got the floor.
And I guess it would go to both the participants and the CRA director. The $15,000 I see, and I've been told, because one of my questions was 8 police officers, is that going to be sufficient for the crowd? And I've been told now that they've upped it to 15 police officers and however many cars. And then I want to verify that with them and see if that's correct. I guess the chief and the director, to make sure that that plan is in place.
I don't believe it's that high, but I would reserve the specific amount until up to the point of where we can determine roughly how many people are gonna be attending. One of the reasons why it was set at an amount not to exceed $15,000 and not in a specific amount is we wanted to be able to have the opportunity to provide the amount of services needed to make sure that the event was conducted safely. Considering, you know, the factors involved and the street closures and alcohol and other factors and whatnot, we wanted to make sure that we had the funding available that is needed to do it right. What I would ask the board is that if approved tonight, I can come back to you with an actual spreadsheet itemizing what was actually spent. So you'll see what was spent, how many officers, how many crowd pleasers, whatnot, and what that total number would be. Because I do not believe it will be 15,000.
No, I'm not saying 15,000.
I'm sorry.
15 police officers.
Oh, 15.
I'm being told that they have now come up with a plan that includes 15 police officers versus the 8 that was in my package. So I just wanted to clarify and make sure that that is what we're on. Everybody's on the same page, and that we're all going down to with the same thing, and that those numbers still fall within the spectrum of everything that we're looking at here tonight. Et cetera, et cetera.
If it was that many, it still would be well within the purview of the amount. I don't believe it will be that number, but just so you know,
they've given me a plan. Perhaps they could come to the podium, but they've just given me a plan that they've told me that they are now including 15 police officers throughout the day for the festival. So I want to make sure that the police department and the CRA director are aware of that, and that $15,000 is still a sufficient amount. And I mean, I'm in support of this. I just want to make sure everybody's on the same page. So that May 7th we don't have a problem, and on May 12th or something you're saying, oh, we need some more money.
Well, I can tell you, sir, that originally in the car item we put down tentatively, as an example, 8 officers at 7 and a supervisor, and the cost was $2,918.18. So let's just say if we double it, you still at 6,000. So.
Okay. Because they have given me a plan tonight, and Mr. Von Knowles spoke to me and started showing me where they're going to place people, which adds up to 15 different officers.
It may very well be that there are additional officers needed just for the street closures. I know that in my speakings with Captain Ray and Captain Kent through the police department, we've talked about having a need for police officers on every single intersection that we're going to be we're closing down not only Chrome but also Washington. So there may be additional officers needed for that.
Okay. So that's if they should take $6,000, $9,000 will cover the other expenses
Yes, sir.
With easily,
Yes.
the portalettes, whatever else we need.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Mayor, if I could, though, I just want to make sure we clarify that if the event organizers actually need 15, I just want to make sure that the city is prepared to provide those, because what we think we need and what they want may be two different things.
Right.
So are we clear as to, do they want 15, and can we provide 15?
Well, I'd have to check with the police department as to the availability for officers, but I would, erring on the side of caution, I would defer what we actually need based on what the police department would tell me. So if the police department tells me that that's what they feel they need to be safe, that's what my recommendation would be.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a number per 100, you know, or something. One police officer per 100.
Mayor, through the
Yes,
chair,
Vice Mayor.
before Ms.
Sure.
Garza speaks. We've had 2 meetings on this. We had to go ahead and go forward with our meetings because the event is coming up very, very soon. We hope that this will be a signature event that will be every single year. We're very, very excited about it. And at both our meetings, we have had police at the table. So you can rest assured that Captain Kent and Captain Ray are working on this, Chief, and I'm sure you know about that.
Yep.
And listen, I hope after we vote on this tonight in our next meeting, I just hope that that it is going to be the biggest event that we can ever dream of. And right now, you know, we have a lot of people who are ready to step out of that box and start advertising and start telling the world about it. But we've held back because we haven't been able to do that yet. So we have some great sponsors on board. We have so many exciting things. And Maria, maybe you could just tell them a little bit. And then Mr. Burgess had any other questions that you want to answer.
No, I wasn't questioning it. I just wanted to make sure that everybody was on the same page. Because I was asking them a question and they gave me another answer than what I read in my information
You
package.
make a lot of sense.
Yes.
So I
thank
just
you.
wanted to make sure, you know, I don't want us, and I do want to make this a signature event for everything, and I don't want it to fall apart. We have problems down there where at
Yeah.
the last minute we don't
Yeah.
have sufficient
I hear you.
staff in place
I hear
or
you.
whatever. And I see the chief is trying to say something, so if I could defer to him.
But Chief, before you say anything, sorry, Mayor, it's just so hard at this point because we haven't started advertising yet. So I'm the last person that wants to come back and say, we need more cops.
Yeah.
However, if we have 20,000 people downtown, which, you know, don't forget, we put 38,000 people on Chrome Avenue in 2002 when we had our second wind event. So you never know.
Yeah.
You just never know.
First of all, I wanted to appreciate what you said, Councilman Burgess, because that is important. We should be all on the same page when we're talking about an event such as this and this large in the city. But my concern was when they brought it to me, and maybe numbers may go up because I was concerned about making sure that the event took place and there was no catastrophe that took place, so we can have it again next year. So my whole concern was the safety, and the way you do safety is put people in place to make sure nothing happens. If it does, we can take care of it. My other concern was, and I don't know if Ms. Garza know about it or not, but I was concerned about the event coming across Maury down to Flagler and leaving Maury open. Well, my concern with that was that we had police officers on both sides because people are going to be crossing that street. I don't want anybody hit. So that's the reason why we probably have more officers in place than what we may need. But whatever it is, if we need them, we have them. And if we can work with them, we need less, we'll do that as well. But the main thing is just to make sure it happens. Thanks. Appreciate it, Mr. Burgess.
Thank you, Chief. Appreciate it. Mr. Williams.
Thank you. Maybe this is to the sponsored question. How many persons are you expecting? I didn't see that in any line.
Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, and members of the council, thank you so much for allowing us this opportunity to come before you, and for allowing us also to walk through this process and come to a solution that is amicable and what is going to be the best for this great city. At this moment, we don't know, Councilman, because we have, like Vice Mayor just said, we have not started the advertising at all. We're going by experience that in the past when we've held an event, at least a couple of thousand people have shown up. We have never done a Cinco de Mayo festival downtown Chrome Avenue. We have never done an all-day festival, for honoring a Hispanic event downtown Chrome Avenue and Washington Avenue. So we're going by the advice of every expert that has joined us so far in the committees, like the Vice Mayor just mentioned, the able advice of everyone in the city that has been present. And so we have looked at every possible avenue. So at this moment, we don't know. We may have 2,000 people. Like Vice Mayor said, we hope to have more than that so that it would be worth a while of the vendors and others present.
Okay, thank you. Question, is this going to be an amount every year that you're going to be trying to fund at this amount? My concern is that when you open up a door like this, you have to be fair across a board. And so, I think err on side of caution that if this is going to be something that's going to be reoccurring, how do we intend to continue in this fashion with this kind of funding?
That's a very good point, because next comes Three Kings, next comes Martin Luther, next comes whatever we see throughout Miami now, and he's right. What's fair for one is fair for all.
Perhaps what we can do is, for the next fiscal budget, we can have an amount appropriated for certain events, and that way it could be done on a policy level, so that way we can, it will already be decided. I mean, that's one recommendation, and that might actually be the fairest recommendation. I mean, there are other ways you can do it, but I would tell you that's probably the fairest. So if you have it in the budget and say we're going to appropriate a certain amount of money, or we're going to have a certain number of events, or we'll have a committee, or the board will decide to have so many events, then we can decide at a time. This is a new event, so my understanding, this has not been done before. Since I've been here, this is the first I've heard that we're actually going to close Washington Avenue, which is, I'm very excited. That I think that's going to be something needed for that corridor. But if this is something that the board likes, that it goes out without a hitch and it's a success, then perhaps we can have a discussion about formulating into policy for the next year's fiscal budget.
No, that sounds good. I just, it does open Pandora's box. Simple as that. It opens it, and from there you're going to have to be fair with each event that comes along. And saying that, where we got caught back in 96 and 97 is we had so many nonprofits come along that had different parades and events that they wanted. We actually went and set aside X amount of dollars in the budget, George. I'm just going to use a number, $50,000, and we divided that $50,000 up equally right across the board. That's what it eventually happened. It became that. I guess it's gone away. I haven't seen that stock of money anywhere around that hands out to all the parades and the nonprofits, because you got the rodeo parade and you got, this and that. Yes, Mr. Burgess.
Thank you. I guess to the people that would like to put on the event, I noticed you're going to be selling beer and you're going to have other vendors and stuff there. Who's getting the profit? Is that something that would help that is going to help the bottom line also, and that we're just helping to carry that, or is there going to be a profit from this that the city could be reimbursed, or the CRA could be reimbursed at some point, or what's the final business plan?
And there it said it's an educational fundraiser.
Right, but I mean, at some point they may be able to self-sustain, where they could, if we get them a year or two going, where they would be self-sustainable. And then I understand it's going to the education and all that, but where we wouldn't have to support it either. It would be a self-sustaining program downtown, so that, where we boosted them for a year or two, and then they would be able to sustain on their own through the sales and booths and food and whatever else the vendors pay to them.
Council, Mayor?
Yes, please.
At the moment, we do not, sales of beer, it has been an issue that has been addressed. the Mexican American Council, through the 30 years of experience and services that we've been providing to the community. We are a nonprofit. We do not have an office. We do not have overhead for staff or administrative costs. Everything that we do goes back into the community. And all these years, what we've been doing is providing educational opportunities for the children of migrant farm workers. The beer has been an issue that the Mexican American Council has never allowed or sold alcohol of any kind on any of the events that we have sponsored. At the moment, on the table with us as partners is all the businesses along Cra Avenue, Homestead Avenue, or at least 20 members' signatures that I have with us. And what we're trying to do is bring business, if you will, through one event, if that's possible, and create awareness of the beauty and the excellent treasure that we have downtown Homestead, Cra Avenue, as well as Washington Avenue. We're exploring the opportunity and the possibility of selling beer. We do not have a sponsor. We're looking into it. But if it's an issue, I will tell you that it's not an issue for us, the Mexican American Council. However, we heard from the vendors that because it's an open event and adults are going to be coming, people would like to see that. If you, I passed before you and I gave to the city clerk an agenda or a sketch of the city and all the activities that we would like to see happen on that particular day. And as you can see, the majority of them are really towards education. We have Aprende Plaza, something that would be very unique to a city festival, for example. On Aprende Plaza, what we intend to do is have at least 18 different types of demonstrations, sharing with our community the greatest things that can be learned, how to make tortillas, how to make piñatas, how to make buñuelos, how to play el trompo, el avalero. Those are things that are very cultural and very unique to our culture, and we want to share that. So we have many, many demonstrations. We have El Jardín de Niños, which we had planned at least 18 different activities geared towards children. We have Community Plaza, where we're asking businesses, community service agencies, as well as non-governmental agencies and governmental agencies to be present, to set up a booth, and to share their information, their educational campaigns with the public. We have Zarape Plaza. On Zarape Plaza, what we intend to do, vendors will be present and sell things that are very unique in arts and crafts of the Mexican culture. We have El Mercado, and El Mercado along Washington Avenue, we intend to allow vendors to come and sell all kinds of vegetables and fruits and make it a very family-oriented. Alcohol is not an issue for me, it's not an issue, but vendors have expressed a desire. People that we have talked to have expressed, if it's a Cinco de Mayo, you gotta have cerveza. It doesn't matter to me, I don't drink. However, we wanna make it a pleasant experience for everyone. What we envision, all the members that are part, the organizations that are now have joined us to be part of this and through the leadership of the Vice Mayor, is a very unique experience in the city of Homestead where people would wanna come back. And to be honest with you, Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the Council, we hope that this, if we do it, this will be the first annual, if it happens, that this will be a signature event where thousands of people would, could hardly wait for Cinco de Mayo to roll around so they can come to Homestead, and for the event to be completely self-sustained, for the city where it doesn't have to put out any money. And I think that also, like I said, if we bring 2,000 or 5,000 or 20,000 people to Cra Avenue and Washington Avenue, the businesses will be the ones profiting from it. And whatever funds we're able to raise through the sponsorships will be towards raising towards the scholarships for migrant children.
Mr. Williams.
Yeah, question. On your sales, are you all charging the vendors to set up? And in that case, if you are, those vendors that do sell the alcohol, is there a percentage that will go towards, or all of the funding that they get from the beer or alcohol will go?
We are not at this moment have solicited anyone that will be selling alcohol, and we will prohibit vendors from selling them. If there is a vendor, if there is a sponsor that would sell alcohol, it would be only one person so that it can be controlled, so that it can be monitored by the police, and we will establish guidelines as to the times and when it will be sold. I understand then from the chief and Captain Ray that it can only be sold in plastic cups, I believe. So we're looking and getting advice from everyone. Priscilla has been wonderful making sure that we cover every single aspect as it comes to risk management.
Okay. All right, that's enough. I have no more questions. I support the item.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any further questions? Yes, Vice Mayor. Please. Floor is yours.
Well, I'm excited about
We're ready to wrap this thing up.
Yeah, I know.
Vote.
Yes, sir. Aye, Captain. I just want to say that at our meetings, Maria and I have been very concerned about the sale of the beer on the street, and it was actually an idea and a suggestion that we both came up with, that we just leave that to the local businesses to do. So if it's an issue, and we'll meet further with the police and make sure, we have no problem.
No problem whatsoever.
Actually, I would like it better, and I said that at the last
Yeah, the
meeting.
established
we had.
businesses are already selling it, so that's fine with us.
You know, and I already said that at the last meeting. So to me, yes, might be a sponsorship, but it's the safety, and most of this is geared around children. You know, and I also want to say a special thank you to Commissioner Moss. He really came through for us. He's donating the large stage and the small stage, and that's a big deal for him to do that. So there'll be other people mentioned on this flyer. There's quite a few more sponsors, certainly, that we have.
Yes, the General Council of Mexico, of course, is our full supporter, and also for chairing the event, and Vice Mayor, if I may, and Mayor, the General Council Ambassador Juan Manuel Gutierrez Tinoco sent his regards to both of you and said that he looks forward to seeing you, and he's also extending the invitation to the General Councils of Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador.
So we'll have international visitors here that
Once
day.
you approve it.
But I also want to say thank you to the Tourism Committee. I see Dale out there, and I really want to thank the Tourism Committee for coming and supporting. Tomorrow is the next meeting at 12 o'clock. It's a noticed meeting, so any council is welcome to come if you want to get in on roll your sleeves up and get in on the planning. And so we'll see what the vote happens.
Okay, any further questions? Call the vote.
Mayor,
Yes.
I'm sorry. Mayor, Vice Mayor, Council, also received an email from Commissioner Moss today. They're also going to donate 3 light stands and the sound system. So my coordinator sent me the email. Just want to let you know they also donated that.
Excellent. Thank you, Dennis. No further questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carries.
Thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you
Looking
on,
forward.
even though the Cinco de Mayo festival is on the 7th of May. See you Saturday.
Mayor, I'd like to thank the council. Thank you very much, Mayor and councilmen, for your support. And they're paying no attention to me, but I'm thanking you.
I say go to Judy.
Go to Judy. So anyway, I'm thanking you guys. Thank you.
You're more than welcome, thank you. Okay, Richard, A and B, was I supposed to put A and B together?
No.
No?
B is good.
Okay, good. Okay.
Resolution of the City of the Community Redevelopment Agency of the City of Homestead, Florida, creating the City of Homestead Community Redevelopment Agency not-for-profit grant evaluation committee, which shall be charged with evaluating applications for grant funds and making recommendations to the Community Redevelopment Agency Board regarding awarding of grants, providing an effective date.
Okay, motion?
Move it.
Okay. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. We've got reports here. No, any reports? That's just a formality.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, sir.
I have a brief statement I'd like to make. Today at the County Internal Management and Fiscal Responsibility Committee, our fiscal year 09-10 and fiscal year 10-11 budgets were approved by the county today unanimously, and we'll be moving forward to the full Board of County Commissioners next month. That concludes my report.
Any public comment? Do we have any public comment on CRA at all? Hearing none, seeing none. We'll adjourn this meeting and go into a special call meeting. Motion to adjourn?
Move it.
Thank you. All in favor?